All right, guys, welcome back. Well, I'm not happy with the stance. I just took the thing for the drive, and I mentioned the difference in height. I've had a good night's sleep. I've thought about it, and we're going to take the leaf springs off. All right, now that we've got the springs out, I've got this was just got from the driver's side. So you can see this is the spring we're going to add to on top. So the plan is to cut, probably somewhere like, I don't know, maybe right in here, maybe an inch further down from this or so. And then this one will lay on top of that one, and we'll use these eyes. These springs seem to be in pretty good shape. I'm going to have to clean them, so let me do that real quick. I'm going to wire wheel these, just so you know. I'm going to wire wheel them off camera, and then I'm going to spray them down, clean them up a little bit, and then I'll put a paint job on them, just a quick flat black paint or something like that. Okay, guys, so here's our leaf spring, our leaf pack. So what we want to do now, I think I want to try to take these little, I'm going to call them shackles. They're not really a shackle like this is a shackle on the leaf spring, but it's kind of attaching these leaves together. So I need to get it out. I would get that out, but it's going to take like an act of God to get that thing out. It took an act of God to get it in, and it's going to take an act of God to get it out. I'm going to end up cutting this leaf spring somewhere right in here anyways, and I think I'll just take that over to the press and press it out. That's just going to be the easiest way. The way I've been getting them in now is I've been pressing them in so these things are terrible. But anyway, let's go ahead and see if we can get this off. I think the best way is going to be to put it right here in the vise. Okay, let's get this. There. These are just little nippers. They work good for this kind of stuff. Slide them in there. Clamp it down. Give that thing a good little bend. Same on this side. Bend. They're riveted on the other side. So I can't really do nothing about that. Rivet, I don't know how to pop that rivet out of there easily, so since I can't do it easily, I'm not going to do it at all, I don't think. Realized I had you out of frame. Still not enough. You got to get them bent up enough to get this underneath them. Once that gets underneath them like that, then it's smooth sailing. As long as you got a good vise, hold it in. If you like vices, guys, look at my other videos. I have tons of vice videos. I don't know how many vices I've fixed up over the years. Got a bunch. Ooh, that one's a tough one to get under. It is tight, tight, tight. Oh, almost. That one might be a little easier to get. Yeah, that one's tough. They put that one tight. And of course I'll have to get those all bent back when I put this thing back together. So now we have that those shackles undone. Let's get our center bolt out. Just use a C-clamp. This is a 14 mil. Alright. And if you're curious, I've already done one. So this is the second one I'm doing, so it goes a little faster. You should realize what works and what doesn't on that second time around. Sure. It's definitely more arch in this one right here than in the other. We'll put them side by side and we'll compare them. So this is the driver's side. You can see quite a bit more arch than in this one. Makes me think that that's maybe the reason why we were an inch taller on that side. So I think what we'll do, since we continue to have troubles on that side, we might just swap this one in and put that one on the passenger side to see if we can't lift it up a little bit. I don't want to reverse it and do be an inch high on the passenger side either, but I'm hoping changing out these leaf springs, putting an extra leaf spring in the top will end all of that nonsense. So that's the hope. All right, so next thing we're going to do is get these off, get this top one off. They'll come right out of here now. There we go. So now we're going to cut this off, and put the other one on. I've got the other ones cleaned up. Let's just take you over here and let you look at these. They actually turned out pretty nice. They're not painted, just letting them dry a little bit from the cleaning. I had to degrease the snot out of them, but it turned out okay. They're pretty nice. And the holes on my ends, my eyes, are much more consistently round. So these are put in some type of a jig and bent when they're hot, whereas mine from St. Louis Spring look like they beat them around. I'll show you what I mean. You can kind of see, I hope that shows up on camera, but I don't know, maybe they probably put it in a jig that bites it and bends it around. I would say that's probably what that is. That's not, surely they're not hammering it. That would take it all day. But still, the holes on the other one are much more consistent, so I'm glad we're going to use them. So let's get started. All right, guys, this is just that pin that I'm going to punch out of there. Seems to be the best way to do it is to press it. Gotta be careful because that thing could come flying out of there. All it has to do is get a little off vertical. I apologize for audio. It is pouring outside. I'm just learning that pressing these in, either with the jack or with a C-clamp, is just a whole lot easier than pounding them in. You just gave way. So, now I'll take my bushings out and I'll reuse them, and I'll clean up the edges on the part of the leaf spring we're going to use. Alright, the goal is was to just get those flattened out so that when I put all the stacks on there, I can bang this out square that up and fold that over on it. So now I'll do the other side as well. Guys, I'm just trying to take out that little curve in that. So I'm going to heat this whole back side up. So I can take that curve out. Seems like a lot of work, I know, but I don't want that curve in there when I go to button this thing up. Just put a little heat in here. And you'll see I'll use the hardy hole here. And it'll come together, should come together pretty nice. Just getting it a little bit of a dull red. Alright, right there. See how that sucked up real good? Beautiful. Very nice. So now that's what we wanted right there. All right, guys, so we're going to start putting this thing back together. So here's our 4 original leaves. I did change out this one on this particular leaf pack because it had a little more arch, and this is going, it had a little more arch than its equivalent on the other leaf pack. And so this is going to go on the passenger side, which if you recall was the low side. So I'm hoping that kind of brings that up a little bit. Anyways, you'll notice a different color on the top spring here. I didn't have black. I'll come back along and spray the top of that eventually, I'm sure. So right now, let's get these plastic pieces back on. So these just snap, they just snap right in there. I'll just take a thing like that. And same thing over on this side. You can see I've got my bands nice and straight now, so that's good. We're going to put our bolt in to start us out. We're going to move in just a little bit. Okay. So next one is there. As you can see, we're already going to have to use our C-clamp to get that thing set in there. But we'll stack them on top of one another, and I can look down the center hole here and make sure I'm lined up with that pin. And then, of course, this is the one that wasn't included initially. This is the one we're adding. And I'm going to try to get these bands on here. Yeah, I think they'll fit. Yeah, it looks like my bands will fit. All right, so let me grab my C-clamp and if I can set that, there we go. All right. We can cinch that down. And I think I'll grab another C-clamp just to help. Normally I put it closer to the center pin anyways, and this one I didn't. Alright, looks like I need to go over. Let me grab a flashlight. I'm just looking right down the pin, and I can see that the pin is just at a slight angle. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to work each one of these leaves over just a hair. Yes. Maybe one more tap. And that looks really good. So now I'll cinch this down. And that should give us almost there. All right. Now, just run a roller over. I'll angle this just a little bit for you guys. So now you can see our pin sticking through. Or I'll snug her up. Cinch that up nice and snug. Not get crazy. Okay. All right, that looks good, guys. Now, let me show you here the. Okay, guys. So, got the 5 leaves together now. Okay, you can see we've got plenty of space to fold these tabs over onto that. So we'll hammer that closed, and then also, just so you guys got an idea. So I'm going to take this, I don't know, I'm going to call it a locking tab, and I'm going to use a C-clamp, and I'll pull those two together and get that thing slid up on there, and then I'll lock that down, and exactly the same thing on this side here. So I hope that makes sense. And that way that'll lock that leaf spring to the other, and they'll work together. Okay, guys. So I'm hopeful to be able to show you this. So this section right here, I'm going to use a C-clamp. So what you want to make sure you're doing here, or at least I believe to the best of my understanding, is you want to cinch these leaf springs together. That way when I bang this thing over, these are all together, and it's going to hold them together. Ideally, we're wanting this to act all as one. A little bit of sliding, obviously, between the different leaves, but we want these as tight as we can get them. So now that's pretty tight. I've done the other side the same way. So now let's go over to the anvil and let's hammer them over. Okay, guys. I'm not using heat. Just folding it over on itself. I'll do the same on the other side. Then when I lay this on top of itself, I'll hammer that flatter. Right now, I'm happy with that. All right. Good camera view there. Okay, I'm gonna lift this up just to get her on the anvil a little bit better. Everything looks good. It looks aligned pretty good, so I'm gonna give her some taps on the side. Alright, guys, I might put that on the edge, and just hammer those corners in just a little bit. Me on the other, so I'm going to hit it here, try to squish that in. Give her one more good whack. I like that. Now let's switch sides, and I'll do it on the other sides, and I'll do it all around. Okay guys, well, I just finished getting the new leaf springs that we've fashioned onto the truck. They look pretty stellar. They're not sagging like the other ones were. That much is sure. Let me get you a shot where, if you remember, that leaf spring right there, it was sagging pretty good, and it looks to be holding up pretty well right now. I haven't measured, but I can tell you this, just looking at it, and I've got the hood slightly popped open, but just looking at it, I would say I still have a little bit of lean on the passenger side, but I have to say it looks very slight right now. So let me take some measurements, and we'll compare it to what we had before. Okay guys, so here's the previous with the leaf springs that we got from St. Louis, 32 1/4. Now this was on the passenger side. I should have put that on here. Passenger and driver. Okay, so passenger side was 32 1/4, driver was 33 1/4, so we were 1 inch difference. Now we are 33 5/8, a gain of 1 3/8 on the passenger side, and we are 34 1/4 on the driver's side, a 1 inch gain. So we did get 3/8 of an inch. So considerably better. We are still, let's see, 3/8, we're 5/8 difference now. So the passenger side is 5/8 inch lower than the driver's side. I can live with that. I was hoping for about a 1/2 inch, but I can live with 5/8 as well. That's something that when I'm in the vehicle, I'll probably take that difference up and hit a look level. But anyways, it may even change. It may change even just a little bit, guys, because I haven't torqued everything down. Like the U-bolts are just snug. So that might pull things in one way or another. I don't know. Probably not. But I'll now that I've got the weight of the truck on the ground, I can torque everything down to spec, and we'll see what it is there from there. But if there's any difference, I'll add to this, but I'm thinking there won't be. Now, there may be some differences as we drive it. I may take a few straps, and what I mean by straps is those metal wraps that go around the leaf springs. I may do something like that on the passenger side to stiffen that up a little bit and maybe not allow it to give quite so much. I don't know, maybe that'll get me a little bit of difference over there. Maybe not, but it might be worth a try to put a wrap or two around that leaf spring. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. It's probably pretty long at this point. So I'm Chris with M7 Metalworks. Listen, if you appreciate this type of content, please hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit the like button and share the content. It would I would really appreciate it, and it would really help the channel grow. Thank you. I'm Chris with M7 Metalworks. Until next time.